So today is Friday, June 26th. It's 10:28 p.m. where I'm at. And today I just want to talk on I think uncertainty and like mistrust. From a personal stance, I'm not really a super trusting person, and I know the things you say about yourself, like when you say it out loud, or the things you believe, your brain hears that and it picks it up. So when I say that, I know I'm invariably creating situations that you know I see in the world by saying that to myself. So I'm just prefacing that because it's something that's really important. The things you say out loud about yourself, your brain registers that as who you are and constructs as an identity for you. So I am a trusting person. Prefacing back to what is going on is this in this day and age, it get really terrifying to trust the soul, Um, and I feel like we complain about this maybe in the modern day. It's like, okay, well, you can't trust anyone you don't really know. And I don't feel like that sentiment is new. I feel like it's inherently old as time. You never really know who to trust. Um, I know that the reason, like, a lot of the old gestures we had in like times past was because you couldn't trust people, like the handshake. You got to shake a man or something to know that hey, your hand isn't behind his back because he got something for you. Or you don't really trust someone when they got both their hands hidden and you don't know what they got for you. So hands are always open in a way of showing like, hey, I'm not trying to blow your spot up. But this is a bit of a tangent. But going back to uncertainty and not trusting folk, I feel like what I've started to do, which is a little bit difficult for me because it's new for me, but nothing is hard for me, um, is trusting folk to be themselves. I think you really want to try and control people, not control them, but you want them to act a certain way, and you want their behaviors to kind of align in a way where you feel, damn, like they work for you. And I'm just trying to learn and move into a spot where I trust people to just be themselves, and then I act accordingly based on what they show me. Having a more open hand palm policy, and it's not self abandonment, but an open hand policy, not a closed hand policy to their behaviors. It's being awake and noticing that behavior and being like, okay, I'm gonna trust you to be yourself. If you bring it up and let me know and talk about it with me, cool. I can bring it up and talk about it, but it's not an event. But it's just that hey, I see that, and maybe that's not aligned in it for me. So I let it go. And yeah, I feel like that's kind of where I'm gravitating towards now in terms of how I deal with folk, is just trusting them to be themselves and realistically moving accordingly. Because I've been in spots where I've tried to really like manipulate and control the game and try and get folk to do what they want, what you want them to do, and it never realistically works that way. You end up creating a very unhealthy dynamic with yourself and the person involved. Usually, it's better to let folk be themselves, and then you gotta decide, hey, do I actually want that around me? Am I interested in participating in this? And that's always and that's a continual process. It sounds kind of exhausting, but it's a continual process, and one it also allows you to remain awake. So you're looking at folk, and you're not just enmeshed in whatever is going on. You're in it, but you're also like paying attention. Your brain is like, okay, am I actually cool with this behavior that I just witnessed was expressed to me? And then you know if that is or it's not, and then you can bring it up if you want to, or you can move accordingly and just vanish. And that's just on dealing with trusting folk. And it's moving to a system where I trust people to be themselves. Just trust them to be them. Don't trust them to be anything else or who you imagine them to be. Just trust them to be them and follow and just act accordingly. On uncertainty, I think uncertainty is kind of cool. I think I've become a little bit cooler with uncertainty. I still get hella anxious sometimes when stuff I'm not sure how it's gonna pan out because so many variables, right, in this life, and you can't really control anything. Um, but I think I want to be a lot deeper in uncertainty. I want to stretch that muscle a little bit more and make it a little bit stronger. Cause I think being cool with uncertainty is actually kind of being cool with life. Like life is hella uncertain. You never know what's happening. You think your stuff is certain and clear, but you actually don't know. And I want to get into a spot where I'm more okay with uncertainty, and I can actually feel relaxed while stuff is zipping in and out of the, around me. But I have the sense of a calm, knowing that this is just uncertainty, and realistically, it means nothing. It's just uncertainty, and seeking certainty sometimes is unnecessary. You don't really need to. You just gotta, and it goes back again to trusting folk, and it goes back again to trusting things to eventually reveal themselves to you, regardless of the energy you're putting into it, trying to reveal it yourself. It's about trusting that it will be revealed to you. Sometimes you gotta go, you gotta go do the work and get it. But I think 99.9% of the time, open hand policy and allowing things to reveal themselves to you. Yeah, that is all I got for today. It's Friday, June 26th at 10:33 p.m. And that's all I got. So, God bless.